Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Voices of Women is a talk radio show that gives voice to the personal stories of women. It will inspire women and enlighten men to follow their dreams and create positive changes in their lives. Whether the audience listens to best-selling authors or a layperson like themselves, they'll realize there are others with similar experiences and feelings to their own. This show will give women tools they can use every day, which will empower them to step out of their boxes and create the changes they desire in their life. Kris inspires women to find their voices, speak up, and become leaders of their own life. Everyone has their gifts to share with the world, and it's time for women to work together to bring honor and respect to the feminine voice, which is within all people, men and women. Topics include personal growth, spirituality, creativity, leadership, and divine feminine. Now here's your host, Kris Steinnes.
Well, welcome to Voices of Women. On this lovely Friday, getting near the end of August, starting to feel a little chill in the air, although it's still warm, still summer, and we're coming up on the eclipse, and I am going down to Oregon, along with a million other people, I guess, so it will be a slow drive down to Oregon, but we're looking forward to it. I hope you all are safe getting your glasses and enjoying a great eclipse on Monday. Well, today I have Rhonda Harris-Choudhry on the show. She's an author of You Are Not Broken, How to Retrain Your Brain, and etc. It's got a long title about cleaning up your energy. So Rhonda Harris-Choudhry has been utilizing her psychic gifts since she was a teenager. She's a goddess, high priestess, psychic healer, manifestation expert. She's made it her mission to empower people, particularly empaths, by teaching them about their innate gifts and how to use them effectively to improve their health, life, and happiness. So she also offers spiritual counseling, various healing modalities, psychic readings, hypnotherapy, as well as advanced psychic and healing training to practicing light workers and metaphysicians. She helps beginners to pinpoint and enhance their abilities, as well as helping seasoned light workers to hone their skills. She's also the founder and host of the Priestess View and the Superhuman Revolution shows, which can be viewed on her YouTube channel. So welcome, Rhonda.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, tell us about your background. How did you and when did you become aware that you're an empath and a psychic and all the things I said on your bio?
Okay. Well, when I was a child, growing up, for Halloween, all I ever wanted to be was a witch. And my mother tried to get me to be a ballerina and a fair. Like, no, this is what I just want to do. And I started to exhibit psychic abilities when I was a child. I would have dreams that would come true, and especially after my mother got sick. But my parents were very Christian, and that was not exactly smiled upon. So I had to grow up with that conflict of being psychic, but feeling that there's something wrong with being psychic. And it wasn't until when my mother, she got brain tumors, unfortunately, and she would have these grand mal seizures, and I would be able to tell her, you're going to have a seizure today to stay home. And at first she wouldn't listen, and then she would, and then finally they actually started to listen to what I had to say. My mother was also very into herbology, and she taught me that, and I've always had a love for healing. And when I was 16, oddly enough, my father bought me my first tarot deck, much to my mother's chagrin. And he says, I don't know why I bought these for you. I saw them in the store. I just knew I had to buy them for you. And so it kind of went from there, learning about my psychic abilities. You know, back then, I hate to date myself, but we didn't have the internet and all the things that people have now. We had a library where you had to go, you know, with a little card catalog and go to the library. And we had maybe one book that was pretty useless. And so I ended up actually asking for divine guidance on things to help to grow my psychic abilities. I studied Reiki in the 80s, and that's how I started to really learn, but I did not know I was an empath until probably about 9 years ago. where I'm putting the fake parentheses up, stumbled upon, because I know the universe sent it to me. An article, I think I stumbled upon it on the internet about being an empath, and I looked at it, and it was just, oh my goodness. I had no idea, and everything just came together from that point, because empaths, we're just psychic sponges, and we take on so much of the world, and we just want to help everybody, even to our own detriment. And that explained to me why I could not seem to manifest for myself, but I could manifest for everyone else. And my own life was in chaos, but I could help other people smooth their lives out. So that's how I got into this. And I asked the divine for help on how to deal with empathy and to teach other empaths how to get their lives back on track.
Yes, that's great, and it's very needed. And now you've written this book, and that's also to help empaths, but also others. So, what inspires you to? Because there's a lot of books out there on these kinds of things, just tons, and yet we all have our individual voice and speak to our audience, so to speak. We're going to draw those that who need to be drawn to us because of our voice.
Right, exactly. Well, what inspired me to write the book was because I had such a hard time manifesting for myself. And, in the metaphysical world, we are taught that, what you put out there is what you get back. And I wanted to know how come that didn't apply to me. I was helping as many people as I possibly could, but my finances were in chaos. My life was in chaos. Everything seemed to be going wrong. And I actually at one point started to think, well, maybe this is just my lot in life. I don't know what else to do. And so it wasn't until I got to a point where I had in 2005, just to sum up very quickly, I had a series of events happen. My late husband, he died unexpectedly. In a 6-month period, my husband died. I found out I had a 20-pound uterine tumor that almost killed me. And I lost my career as a mortgage underwriter because the mortgage industry died. And I ended up losing everything. I had to sell everything I had. I was destitute. And I had finally said, okay, universe, what am I supposed to do? You've got to help me. I can't handle this anymore. And through divine guidance, I was taught how to make these Reiki bracelets and sell them and get into the metaphysical world. And I noticed that other empaths that I was dealing with was having the same exact problem. They could do everything in fact, they did everything for everyone else, trying to heal people and help people and fix their lives. And they're like, oh, I must be cursed. I must be hexed. Something must be going on, because they would come to me for Reiki healing and things like that. And so I kind of put it together that there's something wrong here. Something is going on with us that needs to be fixed. And again, I asked for divine guidance. And they explained to me, when I say they, I mean the universe and my guide, the importance of clearing up our energetic field, because we're carrying so much energy debris from adverse circumstances that we have been involved in that our energy can't even flow. We also have to contend with subconscious behaviorism. Another thing I stumbled upon was an online class in hypnotherapy through the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, which I felt compelled to take because I was looking for a new career and it just resonated with me. So I found out about subconscious behaviorisms that add to the energetic issues that are going on. And also with regards to, especially to empaths, just getting on our own priority list. Everyone is so much more important than us. So technically, when the universe says what you get out there, what you get back, what you put out there really was true. We were getting back what we put out there, which was we are not important enough to become a priority in our lives to get what we want. Everyone else is more important. And so the universe said, okay. So that saying, I had stopped believing in that, saying, oh, that's not true. You don't get back what you put out there, but actually you really do. And so many of us are so concerned with the world and everything else that's going on in it that we forget about ourselves. And so when the basket of goodie comes around, we make sure everyone else has theirs, and we accept the empty basket. And so by understanding that and learning how important it is to learn to put ourselves first so that we are the strong warriors that we can be to get out there, do our missions, and help people, and keep our energetic bodies clear, and to retrain our subconscious to help us. That is what inspired this book, because I really wanted to help so many people who I've heard say the law of attraction does not work. It does work. It really does. But first we have to look at it in such a way. We have to examine our lives, examine our energies, examine what is our subconscious behaviorism, fix those things, and then we can actually get the universe to grant us that abundance that we are looking for.
Yes, and we're going to get into a lot of what you just mentioned in our conversation today. So we'll go more in depth. And one of the things, people who are empaths, there's certain things they need to learn in order to take care of themselves. Because like you said, you were a sponge. Many people don't realize they're a sponge and that they take on energy, other people's energy. And so that also, like, you said we are more concerned of other people than yourself. If you're taking on other people's energy, you're not taking care of yourself. And a lot of people aren't aware that they're doing that. And so some of the things in your book are teaching you exercises on how to do that, how to protect yourself, how to be aware that, and partly is being aware that you are taking on other people's energy. And so what you're feeling isn't you some of the time. Many of the time, It's not you. You walked into it, you were feeling great. You walk into a party and all of a sudden you feel depressed. Well, who's depressed in the party? It's like you just sponged in that energy of somebody there, or whatever it is. But, to take a look at when you're feeling good, then all of a sudden feeling bad, what is going on?
Right.
What's happening? And so we're going to talk about that, how you can protect yourself, when we come back and talk more with Rhonda Harris-Choudhry, author of You Are Not Broken. So stay tuned.
Are you ready to stop stress, anxiety, and low self-esteem from running your life? Join award-winning author Dr. Friedemann Schaub for Empowerment Radio and learn breakthrough solutions to switch out of survival mode and approach every day with great ease, joy, and purpose. Tune in the first and third Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific to Empowerment Radio with host Dr. Friedemann Schaub on Transformation Talk Radio. Visit thefearandanxietysolution.com to learn more.
Calling all moms, it's time to awaken your vibrant, intuitive, loving self in every area of your life. Join host Debbie Pokornik as she shares thoughts, stories, and tools to help you stand in your power. Listen to Vibrant, Powerful Moms helping everyday women create extraordinary lives. Mondays at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. For more information about Debbie, visit empoweringenergy.com. That's empowering with letters NRG.com.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Huff, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now, 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Are you searching? Looking for a sign? A message you need to hear? From the great unknown? From the most mysterious place that is the most familiar to your soul in the depths of who you are? The universe put someone here to talk to, someone God gave a blessing to, that you may find insight with. TheAngelLady.net. 1-800-323-1790.
Welcome back to Voices of Women. I'm Kris Steinnes, and I'm talking with Rhonda Harris-Choudhry. We're talking about her book, You Are Not Broken. So, Rhonda, you mentioned the law of attraction, and there, we've all heard about that, and then we've also heard things of, well, that book didn't really say it all. There's some problems in manifesting and da-da-da-da. So what do you have to say about that? And, well, I think we should talk about what are some of the roadblocks that keep this law of attraction from working.
Okay, I would say probably one of the number one roadblocks that keep the subconscious, that keep the law of attraction from working is the subconscious. So let me just give you a quick explanation of what that means. Our subconscious rules 88% of what we do, and it is trained during our childhood when our life script is created. So let's just say that you come from a home that is very loving and kind. Your parents love each other. They're supportive of you. Chances are you're going to be seeking that kind of a relationship when you grow up. You'll be looking for that supportive partner. You'll be looking for that loving energy, and that's what you will attract because that's what your subconscious knows. The subconscious is trained by what it believes is normal. It does not understand the difference between right and wrong, what's good or bad. It only understands what is normal. And so if it is normal for you to be in a loving situation or a prosperous situation or a healthy situation, it will do everything it can to keep that going. However, if you were raised in an environment of poverty or your parents were fighting or any kind of adverse situation, you may find that you find yourself in that situation over and over again, not because you want it. You may continue to try to change it as much as you can, but your subconscious won't allow it because it goes for what's normal. So just to give you an example, I don't know how many of you out there ever smoked cigarettes before. I used to be a smoker. And if you were ever a smoker, you have to remember what it was like to smoke your first cigarette. It was not fun. Your throat was on fire. Your chest was on fire. You wanted to throw up. You were dizzy. You were trying to be cool in front of your friends, so you tried not to show it. But you felt awful. You smelled awful. And your subconscious says, what are you doing? Let's not do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. But you kept doing it because it was cool, and then it became a habit, and you had to have a cigarette while you were talking on the phone and after you eat and when you drove. It became a normal part of your life. And so the subconscious will say, okay, well, then smoking is normal. All right, we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. Well, then, of course, you find out that cigarette smoking is horrible for you. It causes cancer and all kinds of issues, and you decide you're going to give it up. So you say, okay, I'm quitting smoking. And your subconscious says, no, we're not, because first of all, we're not going to be cool anymore if we quit smoking. We have to smoke when we drive. We have to smoke after we eat. We have to smoke when we have conversations with people. It's what we do. It's normal. So no, we're not quitting. And that is why it is so difficult for people to quit smoking or lose weight if they're used to eating from emotional reasons and things like the subconscious gets a grip on you. And so we have to actually retrain it by changing those behaviors long enough that the subconscious then decides it's normal. So if you finally, after 3 months of not smoking, your subconscious will say, okay, I guess we're not supposed to smoke anymore. I'll accept that as normal. The same thing will apply with people who are trying to find prosperity in their lives. If they have been through, and even if you were raised in a situation where money was not a problem, if you've ever gone through a prolonged period where you had no money and no resources or very little, to the point where the subconscious accepted that it was normal for you to not have money, then it will sabotage every effort that you try to get money because it's not normal. And that's where diligence comes in, where you have to persevere and do certain protocols and exercises to retrain the subconscious. The other roadblock that we have is negative self-talk, where even though we really, really want something very badly, we want to say, okay, we're strong, we're confident, we're spiritual goddesses, we are goddess warriors out there. But we have that negative self-talk that goes on in our mind. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. I'm so stupid. Oh, man, you know what? I'm supposed to do this and I didn't do it. And how could I be that? Or look at me in this dress. I look so fat in this dress. Or, oh, I've got so many more wrinkles. Look at this gray hair. Now, before you start saying, yeah, and feeling guilty about how you're beating yourself up, part of the book is to explain to you this isn't your fault. This is the fault of advertisers on television who want you to buy their products and are constantly in your face saying you are not slim enough. Your eyelashes are too short. Your hair is too gray. You have too many wrinkles going on. You're not tall enough. You're not this enough. You're not that enough. And that is constantly assaulting you. You go on social media. You've got the little things on the sideline saying, oh, you could lose weight with this weird old trick, meaning translation, you're too fat. You go on TV, listen to the radio. It's constant with wrinkle creams and this and that and the other thing. And so you start actually emulating that voice, those things in your head, and that can stop it. So even if you believe that you're fat or you're stupid or things like that, you've got these things going in your head, your subconscious is soaking that up. And it can stop you from when you're trying to put your affirmations out there. If you're spending 20 minutes doing an affirmation, but spending the bulk of the rest of the day berating yourself, you've canceled out that affirmation and just made things worse for yourself. So a lot of people will do that. They'll do their 20 minutes of affirmation, or they'll write things down or do what their protocols are. But then for the rest of the time, they have to contend with that negative chatter going on in the back of their mind, reminding them constantly of their deficiencies, which is broadcast at you due to advertisers and what the people think is normal for you to weigh or normal for how you to look. Or maybe you're 60 and you want to, the 20-year-olds are out there like, oh, use this cream, you look like you're 20. These are a lot of the things that can stop us. And even worse, it's we're carrying emotional debris. A lot of us will do candle work where we'll project intentions into a candle or a crystal. If you're carrying depression or sadness or any kind of grief or adverse emotions, that energy is going right into your candle, right into your crystal, right into your affirmations. So you're not putting the clear intention energy out there. It's conflicted with that adverse emotional energy that's going in. So those are some of the roadblocks that can really stop you from manifesting through the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things you're talking about in your book is to clean your energy and even clear your home of adverse energies before you start manifestation work. So what is an energy cleansing step that you could share with people right now?
Absolutely. One of the best ways and the easiest ways of clearing your energy is through color therapy. So what you do is go into your mind and consider a color that represents to you purity. Some people might choose white, some people might choose yellow, some people might choose blue. Whatever that color represents purity to you, I want you to just close your eyes. Now, not everyone is visual, so if you're not a visual person, you can pull up that color on the internet or get a crayon or get a marker, something that's got that color in it for you to focus on. And imagine that you are immersed in that color, and that color is permeating every part of your being, removing all of that adverse energy. We always send it into the light. We don't want it hanging around us. We send it all up into the light and restore our peace and balance. And you will find that just by doing that, you'll be able to shape your life using color therapies. If you're in need of wealth, consider the color that represents prosperity to you, and you can surround yourself with that. If you like to use the elements, let's say you're a Pisces or a water sign, you can imagine that water is flowing up from the ground, up over your body, up over your head, and then retracts back into the ground, taking all that adverse energy with it to be healed and recycled by the earth. You can use the same thing with air as well. If you know the chakra colors, putting the chakra colors back in, using light bulbs, like pretend there's a red light bulb at your root chakra, turn it on and let that energy flood through the chakras. These are great ways to help to cleanse yourself, and to cleanse yourself even from the inside out energetically. Drinking an herbal tea that represents cleansing, like sage tea, put a clove in it, that's going to clean your energy from the inside out. The trick is, though, you have to tell the sage and the clove what to do. Whenever you use anything, you have to tell it what to do. So you take a clove tea bag or some loose clove and steep it in some tea and say, listen, I need you to clean up my energy, get rid of anything that's adverse to me, and restore my peace and serenity, and drink the tea, and you'll be feeling much better.
And so it's also being mindful of that. You know, like we go through our day, we get really busy and everything's out there in the world disturbing us, and we forget these little tools. And so I always say, like, even when you're driving, like you stop at a stoplight, you can do these simple techniques without impacting your driving because you're at a light, stopped, and, you know, you're paying attention, but you're being mindful of, oh, what am I feeling? What do I want to bring in? What's the color that, you know, just like you said, you know, whether it's blue or white or yellow or green for money or whatever it is, whatever you're needing in that moment. And it's really about being aware of what's going on with inside you. Well, we're going to take another break. So stay tuned. We'll come back and talk more with Rhonda Harris-Choudhry.
Are you stuck in unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, and low self-esteem? Do you crave a life of inspiration, love, self-acceptance, and fun? Sounds like you're on the verge to your next big thing. Join Laura Richer, host of On the Verge Radio, helping you use your breakdown for a breakthrough, overcome life's greatest challenges, and live the life you want and deserve. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio, or visit SeattleHealingHypnosis.com for more information.
You know that feeling in your gut, that tiny whisper in the back of your ear, the tinge behind your knee that says, let's go for it. But then your mind says, that's ridiculous. Do you ever wonder if that little voice might be onto something? My name is Audrey Michelle. I'm the host of Rewired Life Radio, as well as a spiritual growth coach. If you're ready to stop letting fear lead you around, let's talk. If you're at the point in your life where you're ready to shed layers of what you thought you were supposed to be and are ready to take the next step, to trust your best resource, let's talk. I can help you discover the voice of inner wisdom. I will guide you through a process to unearth your best self. To learn more, go to audreymichelle.com/coaching. That's Audrey Michelle, spelled MICHEL.com/coaching.
Thrive is what we experience when our mind, body, and soul operate as one. When we thrive, we excel on all levels. Thrive is the mindset that matters. It is essential to our being. Have you ever found yourself looking for the instruction manual on how to thrive? You'll find everything you need to help you feel strong, powerful, and peaceful in your own body. So don't waste any more time. Visit thrivebyjen.com today.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Are you struggling in a relationship and deeply craving some tools and support to get things back on track? Do you crave having a loving, compassionate relationship with Mr. Right, but always seem to pick Mr. Wrong? Well, Sarah Luce can help. She's created a 4-week online course starting September 28th that will teach you how to shift your energy and behavior to have new transformative outcomes. And you're going to get a personal one-on-one session with Sarah to ensure you get powerful, personal results. Sign up today at sarahluce.com.
Welcome back to Voices of Women. I'm Kris Steinnes, and we're talking with the author of You Are Not Broken, How to Retrain Your Brain with Rhonda Harris-Choudhry. Rhonda, please share your website where people can learn more about you and your book, and if you have anything that's available for people on your website.
Sure. My website is www.healinghenna, HENNA, goddess.com. And you can look at the book. You can click onto my YouTube channel where I've got some great tutorials for you for empaths or people trying to manifest, or check out my my online temple, the Goddess Spirituality online temple, where I do live ceremonies for the Esbats, Sabbats, and the different moons and things like that. I'd love for you to check that out.
Great. Okay. healinghennagoddess.com. Everybody check that out. So we've been talking about manifestation, and also one of the things we talked about is taking on, negative energy, and something you talk about in your book is the energy cords. We get attached to negative people and circumstances. So how do they get attached, and how can you remove them? That's what I would love for you to share.
Okay, so how energy cords get attached, and this is particularly true for empaths, but you don't have to be an empath to have people connect energy cords to you. Let's just say that you are a therapist, that could be a massage therapist, a teacher, anyone that is in contact with other people one-on-one or even in groups. And let's just say you're sitting there, even if you're just talking to your girlfriend. Let's just say your girlfriend says to you, "Hey, Kris, my boyfriend broke my heart." Well, what's really going on here is she's looking for healing energy for her heart. She will shoot unconsciously. I'm not saying that they do this on purpose. They will shoot an energy cord into your heart chakra to get that healing energy from you, and then it gets replaced with their energy. If they're saying, "Oh my goodness, my boss gives me such a headache," they're shooting that energy cord into your head, into your third eye or into your crown, to get that energy out of you so that they can feel better. Or if they're feeling sick and exhausted, and all of a sudden, you're talking to them and they're perking up and you're starting to deflate, like, "Oh my goodness, I feel so drained." They're pulling that right from your root chakra, your life force energy. And they've got that cord attached, which is feeding them. And unless you remove that cord, you could have helped somebody 10 years ago, and they are still living off of your energy. So what you have to do is you have to pull that cord out by the root. So what we do is let's just say, I do this over all of my chakras to unhook myself from other people's energies. So just if you're listening, take both of your hands and right in the center of your chest over the heart chakra, as if you were unhooking fish hooks from your heart chakra. Just kind of unhook them, pull them out with your fist, and then open up your hands like you're releasing them. And then all you do is you say, "I unhook and release all of the adverse cords, karma, and burdens of others and myself and all things that are adverse to me, and send them into the light to be healed and resolved as I am healed from them." And then place your hands back over your heart and say, "And restore my own divine peace, strength, good health, free will, and the optimum flow of divine balanced energy. These wounds are healed, And now imagine that green light or pink, some people like pink into their heart chakra, is flowing in there and filling in that void. Because when we take something out, we have to put something back. And the same way when you pull a splinter out, you have that little hole there that bleeds. We have to heal the wound up. And that green light will go in and heal the chakra and heal the wound and replenish your energy. When you do that, when you unhook all of your chakras from those adverse cords, you will feel like a new person. And you get to have your own energy back. And for those empaths out there who may be saying, well, if I do that, if I take their cords out, then who's going to help them? Well, that's where the light comes in. We're sending their cords into the light. So now the divine, who has a limitless supply of energy, is taking over to help that person. And you get to have your own energy back. This way, you're not the hospital. The light is the hospital. And we let the light take it from there. So that
I like that.
Like,
it's not up for us to fix others. People need to do their own personal work, and we have to stop that rescuing and thinking that we can save the world and we can save. We can only save ourselves. We can only change ourselves.
Exactly.
So that's great. So great exercise, and you mentioned all the chakras because I was thinking, solar plexus is another good place that we get hooked in.
Yes.
In people's emotions, and so you can do this to all your chakras. And unhook and replace. I love that. So thank you for sharing that piece of wisdom with everybody. So the next topic I want to talk about is emotional shape-shifting and raising our vibration for transformation.
Okay, let's talk about emotional shape-shifting then. So what emotional shape-shifting is, before we talked about how we carry adverse emotions from our childhood and things like that, and our subconscious is fighting us because it feels that that's normal. Well, one of the ways to retrain the subconscious is to talk to it in its own language. And it's the language of the subconscious is emotions. When you were a child, when you were a baby, before you learned the spoken language, emotions were your form of communication. You might not have understood the song that your mother was singing to you, but you felt that love, you felt that comfort, you felt that nurture. The same way, if mommy was upset over something, you felt that tension, you felt that. And so that is how the subconscious gets trained, is through emotions when we're children. So what you want to do to retrain it, let's just say you've gone through a period where you've just been so depressed over your finances. Well, what you do is you go into your memory banks and think of a time when you felt wealthy. I don't care if it was you when you were 5 years old and your grandparents gave you your first $1 bill and you're like, wow, I have a whole $1. And you got so excited, or you got your very first paycheck from when you worked at McDonald's when you were 16. You're like, yes, I have money. When you bring up that memory, the subconscious recognizes that as real. But not only that, you bring up the emotion of accomplishment, of prosperity, of wealth. And this is where you want to launch your manifestation work for prosperity. You don't want to launch your manifestation work for prosperity feeling destitute and broke and upset. You need to feel like, man, I'm rich. And so you use your memory. So let's just say when you were 5 years old, you cut somebody's grass and they handed you a $5 bill. And you were ecstatic looking at that $5 bill, because $5 to a little kid is a lot of money. Oh, my goodness, I'm rich. I have all this money. Engage in that memory. Bring that emotion forward like it was happening right now. And that is going to raise your vibration up. The same way if you have been inundated with poor physical health, bring a memory back up when you were young and vital and strong. Maybe you were playing, you ran track, or you played football, or whatever it was, a memory of when you were feeling strong and good and healthy. And that is the memory that you engage in, because all those emotions of feeling that way will flood your system with all of those good chemicals that our bodies have that will bring that to fruition. You want to flood yourself with that. that's going to elevate your mood. It's going to tell the subconscious, hey, subconscious, this is how I want to feel. And the more you engage in that memory and engage in that emotion, those feelings of good health, the more the subconscious will start to say, oh, yeah, I remember we used to feel that way. Yeah, that could be normal again. Okay, I'll accept it. And so that's how you can emotionally shapeshift yourself to feeling accomplished. Go back to a time when you felt accomplished. It could be anything. Maybe you painted a picture or you colored something in your coloring book and it was just awesome. And you're like, I'm going to hang this up. Mommy, put this on the refrigerator. Look what I did. That's a feeling of accomplishment that you can bring that feeling back and change your whole emotional state. You're shape-shifting into a positive state of something that your subconscious remembers and accepts as true, and then you can manifest from that state.
What if somebody, because a lot of people will tell me, like, well, they don't remember their childhood. You know, they don't have memories of it. What do you tell them? Tell them then to...
What I tell them is that there is some time, even if you don't remember your childhood, there is some time in your life that you felt accomplished. If it was when you got your first job, something that you got 100 or you passed a test that was important for you to get out of school or graduate, there is some memory, be it childhood or adulthood, that you can latch onto, that you can use right now. Doesn't have to be from your childhood. It could be getting your first check when you graduated from college and you got that first job and you walked out saying, yeah, I got that job. Awesome. And you feel like you're on your way to success. You can use that memory as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's paying attention, or even if it was just the other day when you felt good, just remembering your feeling, remembering the feelings when you felt good, and bringing that forward to replace when you're feeling bad. Just because we take these things on, and beat ourselves up, and it's really time to stop that. It's time to and it takes that paying attention and discipline to really be aware of what is happening within you, to be mindful. Absolutely. So many things we have to pay attention to, but it's very important for our health and our spiritual essence. Well, we're going to take another break, and so we'll come back for our last segment and talk more with Rhonda Harris-Choudhry.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
Live your magnificence, for the love of joy is a precious gift offered to us by Robert Schoenfeld, host of the Art of Powerful Living Radio. He takes us on an incredible 30-day adventure to expand our minds and hearts with the nectar of life, love, and joy. This book will help you bring more joy, love, health, abundance, adventure, romance, and magnificence into your life.
Tune in to the hit show Mouthing Off with Chef Rossi. Chef Rossi mouths off about different subjects in pursuit of breaking down walls and opening up your minds. She and Dr. Pat banter back and forth, taking from the headlines of the day on subjects that reach beyond what goes on in the world into your hearts. And go to theragingskillet.com to find out more and let Chef Rossi know what's on your mind.
Gifted intuitive healer and spiritual teacher Sarah Luce brings her unique style to the hit show Small Steps, Big Breakthrough Radio on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in each month as Sarah turns reality on end and shows us how to experience expansive results with simple yet powerful steps. Expect an enlightening bend on what you currently believe is possible. For show details and upcoming topics, visit sarahluce.com. That's SARALOOS.com.
Curious about the meaning of life? Do you want to deepen your spiritual practice? The School for Esoteric Studies offers online training to spiritual seekers from all paths of life and individual coaching. Our courses synthesize Eastern and Western spiritual traditions based on meditation, study, and service applied to everyday life. The school also organizes group meditations each year to benefit humanity. Whether you're just beginning to reflect on the spiritual side of your life or are a more experienced spiritual seeker, the school warmly welcomes you to join our group. To learn more about our courses and services, please visit esotericstudies.net. That's esotericstudies.net.
Welcome back to Voices of Women. I'm Kris Steinnes, and we've been learning about our energy bodies and how to shapeshift our emotions and our mind to, and all this in relationship to manifesting what we want in our life with Rhonda Harris-Choudhry. Her book is You Are Not Broken and How to Retrain Your Brain, etc. There's a long subtitle. I'm not going to repeat it. So, Rhonda, we've been talking about how energy impacts us. What do you do when your energetic body is full of debris? How can we tell it's full of debris? And I think, do you have an exercise that you can share with us to help us clear our energetic bodies?
Yes, absolutely. So here's a really quick exercise to help you to know if you are full of adverse energetic debris that's stopping the energy from flowing well for you. So take one of your hands, doesn't matter which one, kind of hold it up, and with your other hand, starting on the side of your palm, just tap at the tip of your pinky and tap from the tip of the pinky all the way to your wrist. And then you're going to do all of your fingers from the tip of the finger all the way down to your wrist on the side of your palm. Just rapid tapping all the way from the tip to the wrist. Don't forget the thumb. And then once you've got the palm side done, turn it over and do the other side. Start from the tip of your pinky and come all the way down to your wrist, and then do the other parts of your fingers from the tips to the wrist, all of the fingers. When you've got all of the fingers done, turn your hand over again, and this time you're going to tap from your wrist to the bend of your elbow. So tap from your inner wrist to the bend of your elbow, and then go to the back of the elbow and tap up your arm, up the back of the upper arm to your shoulder to your neck. Now, in long strokes, as if you're brushing dust off, brush your arm down from the shoulder all the way to the tips of your fingers about 3 times. Turn your hand over and then brush off the other side as well. Nice long strokes with the intention any debris is going into the light. You don't want it hanging around you. When you've finished that exercise, you may find that the arm that you worked on feels much lighter than the other arm that you worked on in comparison to the rest of your body, which lets you know how full of adverse debris that you are, which can severely hamper your manifestation efforts. So what you want to do is you want to go back. You want to do the other hand and arm. You're going to brush them off. And then just hook your hands under your armpits and tap down your rib cage to your hips. Then put one hand on the front of your hip and one hand on the back. Like to the hip, your left hip, one hand on the front of the hip, one hand on the back of the hip, and tap down again all the way to your feet. Brush your feet off. Do the other side. Put your hands behind your back. Tap up your spine for as far as you can go. When you can't go any further, flip your arms over and tap up your spine to the base of your neck, and then take your hands and push them upward like you're just pushing that energy up into the light, and you'll find that you're feeling lighter and better because you've gotten that energetic debris out. But just doing that test will let you know if you are bogged down with adverse energetic debris.
Well, I'm just feeling more of a buzz. You
Is your
know,
arm
the energy.
buzzing?
Yeah, kind of like an energetic buzz.
Well, also, because of the work that you do, you probably are not as burdened down because you do work on yourself all the time and just in the work that you do. But even with the buzzing, it's the energy, it's flowing through the body.
Yeah. Great. Well, and so another thing that you talk about is, we just touched a little bit on, is raising your vibration. And why is that so important and for the transformation of our planet? And doing this work of raising our vibration, is there an exercise to actually work on raising your vibration, or is it just doing all these things that we've been talking about today?
Doing all of these things that we've been talking about today helps, but also being in gratitude. We tend, and it's not your fault, you're not broken. We are taught just even through the media to focus on the negative. They don't talk about all the good things going on in the world. It's always the negative, the negative, the negative. And there's so much beauty around us. We are so blessed. We can get up and say, oh, I hate my job, I hate this, I hate that. But you know what? If you are able to walk, talk, move, you've got a roof over your head, you've got food in the fridge, you've got gas in your car, your kids are healthy, you're reasonably healthy. We have so many things to be grateful for. Just living in gratitude for our lives, for this wonderful, beautiful planet that we live on is going to raise our vibration, is through living in gratitude. To be grateful for all of the fact that the sun is shining today, and there's all these beautiful plants that give us oxygen, and the beautiful animals around us, our friends, our family, ourselves, what we've accomplished for ourselves. By focusing on the positive, we can counter all this negative energy that is constantly being put upon us. Because don't forget, the earth is a sponge too, and water particularly is a sponge, and the earth is mostly water, and all these adverse emotions go into it, and it's causing energetic pollution to hurt our earth's environment. And so it's up to us as stewards of the earth to keep our vibrations high, to stop focusing on the negative and to focus on the wonderful, positive things that are going on in our lives that we can hold on to, that make us feel better, will help to keep us healthier, and will raise the vibration of this planet. When people come at you with bad news, oh, look at this, you know what? Say, today's a beautiful day. I'm above ground. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm working. I have money. Maybe I'm not rich, but I do have something going for me. We have to focus on that and live in gratitude for the wonderful blessings that we have around us, and to be mindful of those blessings. Maybe you don't drive the best car in the world, but you have a car. Maybe you don't live in a penthouse, but if you've got a roof over your head, 4 walls, and you're comfortable and you're safe, you are a blessed person. We just have to focus on our blessings, live in gratitude. And again, you can use color therapies to help raise your vibration, to keep yourself feeling calm, keep your energy cleaned up, keep your mind focused on what it is you're trying to achieve. Remember, there's no such thing as mistakes. They are only lessons. Learn whatever lessons you need to learn from whatever mishaps you might have gotten involved in. Put it in the rearview mirror and roll forward.
Go forward.
Well, that's in gratitude.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Thank
roll
you.
Forward.
Roll forward. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for being on the show today and sharing your wisdom and your book.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, so everybody check out Rhonda's book, Rhonda Harris-Choudhry, You Are Not Broken, How to Retrain Your Brain, especially if you feel like you're an empath. Lots of tools here. Go to her website, www.healinghannah.com. goddess.com. So I'm Kris Steinnes, founder of Women of Wisdom Foundation. I want to start promoting, we're doing a big benefit dinner for Women of Wisdom on September 18th, and you can order tickets online now. Just go to womenofwisdom.org. We have some wonderful entertainment. It's a Tree of Life celebrating our cultural diversity. We're going to have some international dancers. We have a guest from Australia, BJ Long, who's going to be weaving the story of the Tree of Life. And we have Anila Afzali, who's the founder and executive director of the American Muslim Empowerment Network. And she will speak on the topic of American and Muslim, a women's experience. So check that out. We'd love for you to join us on September 18th. And also, I will invite you to check out my book, Women of Wisdom, Empowering the Dreams and Spirit of Women. It's an exploration of the divine feminine through many voices of art, poetry, and stories, and experiences at our annual conference. We're in our 26th year. We're going to be planning soon our conference for February 2018 is our 26th conference. So we're actually right now, any minute, going to be putting out a call for presenters for that. And also, I just want to point out the book is in Kindle, so that's colored art. So please join us and check out our website at womenofwisdom.org. So have a great eclipse weekend, everybody, and we'll see you you'll be hearing from me next Friday.
You've been listening to Voices of Women with Kris Steinnes. Tune in each Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time for Voices of Women Today, radio with Kris Steinnes.